Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News, brought to you by Hobbling Japan. By using the links down below, you will be directly supporting the channel. And the big thing that I saw passing by this week was the announcement for the 63rd Shizuoka Hobby Show. It'll be held on May 17th and the 18th, and Bandai has already confirmed that they will be exhibiting a lot of new items there, including Gunpla, so you might want to mark those dates down in your calendar. And talking about new Gunpla, 2 new Gundam-based exclusive kits were announced for release on the 19th. For 3,080 yen, 22 US, there is the high-grade Zeta Gundam UC0088 Biosensor image color. This is a recolor with a more reddish metallic color to replicate the final attack that Camille uses in the final episode of Zeta Gundam, but other than that, it is identical to the standard version. So it still comes with the beam rifle, hyper mega launcher, 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, and extra parts for the parts formation. For 7,700 yen then, 54 US, there is the high-grade Psycho Gundam metallic gloss injection version. Another recolor, but here every color has something special going on. The red is clear, the purple is sparkly, the gray is metallic-y, and the black looks glossy, so we definitely have an interesting look here. And if you need some cool tunes to build Gunpla to, then there is the Gundam Song Covers Orchestra album by Hiroko Moriguchi. It'll be releasing on June the 18th and consists of 10 Gundam songs going from the OG Gundam to Gundam Seed. Hiroko Moriguchi will be providing the vocals, and the Japan Pops Orchestra will be providing the instrumentals. You can get it as a regular edition for 3,300 yen, 23 US, which comes with just the CD, or you can get it as a limited edition for 5,500 yen, 39 US, which will come with an extra CD containing the instrumentals and a Blu-ray containing the music video and making of that music video for Eternal Wind. For the figures then, on April the 16th, pre-orders began for the Expo 2025 Robot Spirit Side MS Glass Feather on Premium Bandai. It goes for 9,350 yen, 66 US, and comes with the Glass Feather backpack, a new backpack that the Glass Feather backpack can connect to, the beam welding gun in stored and deployed state, and a clear blue action base to put it on. And then on the 14th, we got the full lineup of the second GQuuuuuX Ichiban Kuji, which also has some neat figures in it. One ticket will cost you 700 yen, 5 US, and you will get one of the following prizes. The main prize is a really cool Masterlice Machu and Haro figure, replicating her famous jumping scene from the anime. The B and C prize are visual stands of the GQuuuuuX and Machu and the Red Gundam and Char respectively. The D prize is one of 2 cups with a very interesting design on the handle. The E prize is an acrylic keychain of one of the main characters or one of the main mobile suits. The F prize is a rubber coaster. The G prize is a sticker set. And then finally, if you get the last ticket, you will also get this Masterlice Machu and Haro turning version. Usually, the last one prize is a slight variant of the A prize, but this time it is a completely different figure, so that's cool to see. And staying with the GQuuuuuX news, they also released an audio commentary for GQuuuuuX's first episode on YouTube. It is only available in Japanese, but it does feature the voice actors for Machu and Shalia Bull, so I will have it linked down below if you want to check it out. As for this week's episode then, I'll again keep it short and without any spoilers. Episode 2 takes us back to the beginning and explains how the GQuuuuuX timeline diverged from the mainline UC timeline, with Char stealing the RX-78-2 and whatnot. This is then followed by a recreation of famous scenes, but of course with the alternate setting of having the RX-78-2 with Char now fighting against Federation things instead of, Amuro and the Gundam fighting against Zeon things. Like, as a UC fan, I absolutely loved seeing this, and if you know your One Year War lore, you won't have any trouble like understanding what's going on. But I do wonder how this episode felt for people who are new to Gundam, or at least who are new to the Universal Century. Because once we get towards the end of the episode, things suddenly go really quickly. But I do understand why they did this, given the runtime that they have. One actual negative thing, though, is that I felt that the mobile suit scenes weren't always animated as well as they were in the first episode or as in past Gundam series. Gundam Wing, meanwhile, got some more merchandise announcements. In August, these Gundam Pilot Chibinui plush keychains will be releasing for 2,200 yen, 15 US, and on July 18th, a Just Communication music box will be releasing over at Animate and Movic for 4,400 yen, 31 US. The box is shaped like a picture frame, and you can choose to use either the two included pictures, being Hiro and the Wing Gundam, or you can put in your own pictures. And if you want to listen to what it sounds like, I will have a link to the promotional video down below. And it also has a link to where you can buy it if you're living in Japan or if you're using a proxy buying service, which you will also have to use for these true wireless CP-TWS-01E earphones by Onkyo. They're inspired by Amuro and Char from the OG Gundam. Pre-orders went live on the 11th, and they can be yours in August for 20,000 yen a pop, 140 US. Also, in addition to being able to listen to music on these, they also have voice guidance by the voice actors of the respective characters. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, the biggest news was without a doubt the launch of SD Gundam G Generation Eternal. On mobile, of course. Now, I haven't had a lot of time yet to play it myself, but my Lasinia and Asuna Elmerit are definitely motivating me to play more. The generic music, though, is motivating me to play something that Cosmograph worked on, or the Langrisser 1 remake, because that Genesis soundtrack is still going hard even today. And something that I saw while I was editing this video is that we're getting a premium Bandai Limited Robot Spirits figure of the Phoenix Gundam. A Gundam that first appeared in the G Generation games, and of course also appears in G Generation Eternal. This figure can be yours for 14,300 yen, 100 US, and comes with a Mega Beam Cannon, 2 Beam Sabers with Beam Saber Blade effect parts, a beam rifle, feather bits with parts to attach them to the included action base, and parts to transform it into the bird mode and into assault mode. Pre-orders go live on the 18th, and it's shipping out in September. Plus, those who pre-order it, at least on Japanese Premium Bandai, will get a promotional code on G Generation Eternal for an SSR Phoenix Gundam, the title Robot Spirits, and 3 premium gacha tickets. And we also got some announcements for the Gundam card game. First up, the 5th starter deck will be Iron-Blooded Orphans themed and is called Iron Bloom. It'll also introduce a new color, being purple, and it will be releasing in September. And secondly, they also showed off the changes between the beta version cards and the final release cards. Some of the main differences are that on mobile suit cards, the AP and HP values have been made easier to read, and that their effects have gotten larger text sizes, again to make them easier to read. Command cards and pilot cards now have a unified design for the pilot text, and there are some new icons for effects, again in order to make things easier to read. So that was definitely the main thing that they were changing with these cards. Smaller announcements then were that they revealed a new resource card featuring Kira and the Strike. They'll have a collaboration with Perfume for a tie-in song, and they showed off the designs for previously announced products. We have card sleeves with the logo of the Gundam card game, the Gundam/Earth Federation, Char, Zaku 2/Zeon and Lacus. We have the official card case, which will also come with an X resource card of Lacus and an X base card of the Strike, and a set of official damage counter dice. In Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, then the RF Gelgook has joined the fray, while on Steam the Gundam Delta Eins has become available. In UC Engage, there's a new raid battle and a new event unit assembly featuring the UR Yona Basta and his UR Narrative Gundam B packs. And for Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered, we got a new trailer, introducing everything that the game has to offer. And for a remaster of a Vita game, I am liking what I'm seeing so far. And in other news, Gundam Manholes were installed in Matsuya, featuring the RX-78 Gundam and the Zaku 2 F-Type. As for the things you could get this week then, first up on the 11th, we got some RX-78 things. From the Tamashii Nation store, you could get the Robot Spirit Side MS RX-78 Gundam Ver.ANIME Earth Colors version for 6,600 yen, 46 US. And as you could probably tell by that price, not only does this version of the RX-78 have a different color scheme, but it also comes with less accessories than its standard counterpart. It only comes with a beam rifle, a shield, a single beam saber blade effect part for its 2 beam sabers, a bunch of hand options, and an action base with the Gundam 45th anniversary logo on it. And to be more environmentally friendly, the packaging uses water-based paints and plant-based plastics. Or over at the Namco arcades, you could test out your luck with this RX-78 F00/E Gundam prize figure. It is in the pose that it has at the World Expo, and it stands at about 9 centimeters tall, which is a little over 3.5 inches. One day later then, you could get the high-grade police Zaku for 2,200 yen, 15 US. The thick security unit from GQuuuuuX that comes complete with a Zaku machine gun, a heat hawk, a shield, a baton, marking stickers, and clear parts for the police lights on its shoulders. And for 9,680 and 68 US, you could also get the Expo 2025 Robot Spirit Side MS RX-78 F00/E Gundam on that day. It looks quite impressive with all those clear parts and details, but what is somewhat less impressive are its accessories. We're just getting a beam rifle with a firing effect part, a shield, some hand options, and a spare V-fin. Another day later then, you could play with your RX-78 F00/E Gundam while listening to the Gundam Next Universal Century soundtrack. It goes for 2,200 yen, 15 US, and comes with 7 tracks. Next up on the 14th then, you could build the G-Frame Full Armor 08 MS Team Special Selection lineup. As per usual, each set goes for 748 yen, 5 US, and for every mobile suit, there are 2 sets. An armor set containing the mobile suit itself with a rigid inner frame, and the frame set, which has a movable inner frame, plus all of the weapons and accessories for that machine. Included in the lineup are the Gundam EZ-8, a Ground Gundam with optional gym head, a Goof Custom, and a Ground Gym. On the 15th then, you could return to the arcades to win this Infinite Justice Type 2 head-shaped speaker. But since this is a prize item, I wouldn't recommend going for this thing if you want some quality speakers. I also love how in the promotional images, there is an obvious seam line right in the middle of its horn, really showing the quality that this thing is going to be. And finally then, shortly after this video goes live, the Metal Build Gundam Exia Tamashii Nation Store Limited Edition goes up for sale for 27,500 yen, 193 US. This bad boy comes with its usual accessories, but now has a color scheme that is based on the design sketch by Kanetake Ebikawa, who is of course the mechanical designer of the Exia. For this week's reading material then, there was the Gundam Next Future Guidebook, which you can get at the Gundam Pavilion at the World Expo, and this thing tells you all about the characters, the mobile suits, and the world setting of the pavilion itself. You could also get the Mobile Suit textbook, Cosmic Era 7275, covering all of the mobile suits from the Gundam Seed series. There was the SD Gundam Historia New Gundam Gaiden book, the 5th volume of Gundam Rust Horizon, and the 26th chapter of Gundam Sequel, which was released for free online and is linked down below. And it's still as weird looking as ever. Significantly less weird though is this week's apparel news, where Uniqlo kicked things off on the 14th with their Gundam 45th anniversary collection. For 1,990 yen a piece, 14 US, they released 4 Gundam themed t-shirts. There's a white one with various lead Gundams or Witch from Mercury, and a black one featuring either the OG Gundam series or Gundam Seed. Bankore meanwhile had some GQuuuuuX merchandise, which went up for pre-order on the 15th, is slated for a June release, and feature either the teaser visual or the key visual from the movie. You can get them on a t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 31 US, a tote bag for 2,750 yen, 19 US, a tapestry for 3,300 yen, 23 US, a towel for another 3,300 yen, 23 US, a mug for 2,530 yen, 18 US, an acrylic stand for 1,650 yen, 12 US, or an acrylic keychain for 880 yen, 6 US. And then in July, they're releasing this Haro-shaped pouch for 4,950 yen, 35 US. Be warned though, even though in some of the promotional images they are showing the Haro with the beanie is sold separately. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. Last week, I wanted to know what your favorite grunt from Gundam Wing was, and the results have remained pretty consistent. The Magmanak got a few more percentage points, but with 14%, it was still a bit short of the Taurus's 15%. They never lost in the anime, but in this poll, they got their first loss. Coming in second then with only a slight lead was the Virgo. Now, I was expecting the Taurus to be slightly higher than the Virgo because of its sleek design, but it seems that the Virgo with its more bulky appearance and also its overwhelming firepower was able to secure that silver medal. But to absolutely no one's surprise, the uncontested winner with 50% of the votes was the Leo. A mobile suit that wasn't particularly powerful, nor was it all that sleek, but what it did have was a very down-to-earth utilitarian design. It was also really versatile, and it got some surprising performance when piloted by main characters, so it's a grunt with a lot of personality. But that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.